100-meter dash at the Tom Jones Memorial is officially over, and that is a meet that I make it my business to pay attention to. Because last season, I was there live to watch Noah Lyles open up his season in the 100, where he won the event by less than 100th of a second. And I probably don't have to fill you in on what happened later at the games, did the exact same thing. But this year when he came back, just to clarify, he did not run the 100. He actually ran the Open 400 for the very first time since high school. And it was supposed to be a rivalry match between him and Arian Knighton. And I'll be honest, it was very anticlimactic because they didn't race against each other, they were in separate heats, and neither of them placed inside the top 10 overall on the leaderboards. But hey, Noah Lyles did break 46 for what it's worth. I just don't think it's really going to help his 4x4 bid. And if you put that in perspective with what Fred Curley did over at Mount Sac, on the exact same day, he ran 44.73 because, well, he had it like that. But I'm pretty sure that you're here to find out what actually happened in the men's 100 in this year's Tom Jones Memorial. And trust me, I'm getting to that. Before I do, I probably got to give you at least one more note, so just bear with me. Because in the men's 110 hurdles, Grant Holloway came back to his home track, because that is exactly what the University of Florida actually is. And shockingly, he lost the race. In the men's 110s, Trey Cunningham, he got the victory. And anytime you beat Grant Holloway in a hurdle race, it is a big deal. And with that out of the way, let's get to the men's 100. Because I did a preview of the Olympic development section that they were going to run at Tom Jones. When I looked at the entry list, as far as I could tell, it looked like a duel match between Christian Coleman on one end and Christian Miller on the other. You have to understand, the reason why I saw those two as the names that actually mattered is because they were the men who just missed out on Team USA in the Open 100 for the Paris Games. And as a result of that, this 100, their season openers for both of them, as far as I understand, was the first chance they get to prove that that was a mistake. But this is the sport of sprinting, where we actually have to go out there and run the races. And if you didn't already know, neither of them actually got the victory, because in the first section for the Olympic development, Courtney Lindsay was there, who actually finished right behind them at the Olympic trials if you were paying attention. But this time, he was the man out in front. He got the victory in 9.97 seconds, with a positive 1.9 win. And there's a reason why I tell you the win, because I'm going to get to that in a moment. As far as his career is concerned, Courtney Lindsay last year basically set the world on fire by setting a new world lead in the 200, running it at the Tom Jones Memorial. And this year, he won the Olympic development section in the 100. So clearly he does well when he shows up to this meet. But there's a whole lot more that I have to say, because the men's 100 for the Olympic development section was basically a grudge match. Like, everybody who was in the US Olympic trials who didn't make Team USA, they all ran it back in that race. And all those men, even though they finished behind the names I just mentioned, were still near the top of the leaderboard for everybody in the Olympic development sections when it was all done. But Tom Jones is technically a college meet, so there's no way that I could look at the results for the Olympic development section without looking over at the college sections, specifically the Invite Men's 100, and they're the reason. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. When I looked at the fields for both, competitively speaking, and for that matter, what you actually got on the clock, they're almost the exact same level, because I actually care about college track and field. I pay attention to it a whole lot. And I've been trying to tell people that college track and field at its highest level is basically Olympic level. So when we get Olympic development sections and then put them up against a college section on the same track, essentially a few minutes apart, and I'm not making this up. The first section for the college invite had the exact same wind reading as the Olympic development 100. Again, we're talking about section 1 on both. So we can compare both sections very easily. And this is how it actually went down. Because although Courtney Lindsay ran 9.97 seconds to win his section, Kenyon Sola Ajay who represents Auburn, went 9.96 seconds. Remember, the wind reading is exactly the same, and it really shouldn't be a shocker if you remember that Ajayi was there at the Olympic Games representing Nigeria in the 100. So yes, he is legit. Behind him was Jelani Watkins of LSU, who right behind Christian Miller was the fastest boy in high school last year in the class of 2024. And the man who got third was Tamars McCallum, who was only the fastest boy in high school if you go all the way back to 2022. Just saying. And he still has gone incredibly fast in a college uniform and qualified for the Olympic trials last year as well. By now, you should start to see a trend with this field, because the men who got 4th and 5th were as follows. 4th place went to Kalen Walker of Iowa, who was at the Olympic trials in the 100 and is famous probably for running a 40-yard dash earlier this year during halftime of a football game, because most people don't realize who's at the Olympic trials. If you're not in the final, all the way in the front. And 5th place went to Sam Blaskowski, who is a D3 runner for the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse. But don't let that D3 thing fool you, because he was there at the Olympic trials as well in the 100. So I shouldn't have to say that much about just how much he dominates the Division III level, where they don't give out any scholarships at all. The top 5 finishers in that college section ran between 9.96 seconds and 10.09 seconds. Remember, they're doing it with the exact same wind as the pros were doing. So you can basically compare both fields, because this is how everybody is more or less opening the season. I mean, granted, the college kids might have a few more races under their belt, but I said might. Some of them do, some of them don't. It just is what it is. And if you were to take the top 4 finishers from both of those sections and score it like a dual meet if you really wanted to, this is exactly how it would go down. Because Kenyinsola Ajayi of Auburn would actually now be the winner. Remember, it's all the same wind, so we can compare this pretty well. He'd be the winner, so 10 points to the college kids. The pros, of course, would go 2nd and 3rd. That is 8 points and 6 points that go to them. But 4th and 5th place go right on back to the college kids. So add 5 and 4 points, put it in their bank. Christian Coleman, representing for the pros, would now be in 6th place. Followed by, you guessed it, another college kid. So with the pros obviously bringing up the rear in the final spot, remember, we took the top 4 men from both sides. The final score would be like this. The college kids would definitely take the victory, with 21 points to the pros who come back with 18. I totally understand that this is just one track meet, and it really doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of the NCAA or a professional season. But in a track and field world, where almost every meet that we run is more or less a scrimmage anyway, doesn't matter if it's a Diamond League, Continental Tour Gold, none of that actually matters, because the pros tell me that the only thing that does is the World Championships. And if you're American, unfortunately only 3 people get to go. That all actually leads to an ironic situation, where a meet like Tom Jones, which really doesn't mean anything if you are a pro, is an amazing opportunity to watch real competition. Because since the races don't count, people just go out there and actually try. Because if they lose, well, they can roll it off their back and then try again in the future, for the races that technically do count. I am aware that people really want to see fast times, and trust me, I would like to see them too. But if competition is what you're actually after, then Tom Jones, in the month of April, is about as good as things are going to get if you actually like the sport of sprinting. Just remember that the lanes on a track really do not care at all, and Tom Jones is proof. They don't care what uniform you're wearing. They don't care what school you compete for. They don't care if you're a pro or not. They don't care if you're unattached even. The only thing they care about is who can actually get to the line ahead of everybody else. Because in the one race that the entire world is going to be watching, if you're not in 1st place, at least in the eyes of a casual track fan, and yes, I said that part, you might as well be in last. And that's that. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.